Hello everybody, it's Claire here with a new project to share with you. It's a 4-album set in a stand with a drawer, all altered in papers from the Seasons collection by Graphic 45. And I've used the 8x8, the ephemera cards and the 12x12 patterns and solids for the albums. And then to cover the stand, I've used 2 of the autumn papers and 1 of the autumn collective. So let me show you the project. So here it is, 4 albums, 1 for each of the seasons. They measure 7 3/4 by 7 3/4, and they're all in their little album stand. And as I say, that one's got a drawer on it, so you can add more memories into the drawer to keep with your collection. And the albums, there's room to sort of slightly overfill them. There's plenty of room in them to add photos, but there is some expansion room in the stand as well. So let's take the albums out of the stand. I'll just show you the stand. Easier said than done. Let's take them out one by one. So just a square stand, easy to decorate. I've used the autumn paper, let's just bring it in, with the fabulous wreath on the front. So part of it sits on that side, and then if I turn it round, the other side of the wreath, this side, sits on that side of the box, and then I've used the back of the paper to decorate the front, so you get a continuous pattern, and then on the back as well. And then we've got some of the stamps and one of the border strips from the collection. So the stand comes as a kit, you can buy it on its own. I'll put the link below in the video description. And the albums have all got a PDF tutorial, and if you like to follow along, they've got a online workshop to go with them as well. So let me take you through the albums. So for the covers of each of the albums, I've taken the floral wreath from the paper pad, the 8x8 paper pad, cut it out inside and out. I did miss off some of the really tiny bits, and then just laid it on some black card just to make them really pop. So that one is the spring, and the summer with the beautiful purples and oranges and lovely peaches and the sunflowers, and the autumn, gorgeous again with the sunflowers and the pumpkins and the gourds, I love those, and the winter with its, can't get it, pine cones and little birds, and then all the things that you would find in a festive wreath. And I've just highlighted all of the season words in glossy accents just to raise them up, and there is a hint of glitter and sparkle on the covers. And then on the spines, I've used the banner from each of the collections from the collective sheet, and so they've all got their name on the spine. And then on the back, each of them have got just a plain back with a border strip that was left over from the wreath paper across the bottom, and then the stamps again taken from the paper. So there really wasn't a lot of waste. By the time I'd finished making all 4 albums, most of the papers had been used. So let's take you through each one. We'll start with the spring. So here it is. Lovely, bright, cheerful colours. I love the way the papers always coordinate with the patterns and solids. So in true Clary style, it's quite a simple little album. They all follow the same sort of structure, and the key feature is for you to put your photographs in. So I've used the ephemera cards on the front page, because if you put your own photograph in, it sets the scene for the album, and then you can lift the ephemera card out and do some journaling on the back to go with your photograph. It's always nice to keep memories of what the picture was about, and that's a great place to do it. So there's also space on here for you to add your own embellishments as well from your own stash. So we've got a nice sort of feature photo page at the front, and then we've got a little pocket page. I've used one of the cutouts from the collective sheet. We've got a little ephemera card here that you can journal on, but it also doubles up as a photo mat. And then we've got a little book that you can also add photos in, and journaling as well. And I've just gone round the edges with distress ink just to give them a hint of a colour that goes with the theme of the season. So we've used the back of the collective sheet for this, and just one of the cut aparts. And then we've just got a border strip here laid into the paper, and some of the stamps as well, coordinated with the patterns and solids. So they just slide into the little pocket there. And then at the side there's also another little book. So it really is a journaling come photo memory book. And again, I've just highlighted the pages with some distress ink and used one of the journaling cards on the front. And that just slides into the pocket. And then in the centre, we've got a double page spread, predominantly for 2 photos, one landscape, one portrait, and then a little bit of fussy cutting out some elements from the wreath. So on this side, I've taken this section up here, and on this side, I've taken this section down there, mounted them on black card, and just put them away from the photo, so you can still put your photos in, but there's just a sort of springtime feel to the page that just comes up over your photographs. And then I've just added under there one each of the small ephemera cards, again a great place to journal, and one of the cutout panels for each of the pages from the Spring Collective. And they just sit under there like that, and they double up as photo mats as well. And then flipping over, we've got another pocket here with a smaller cutout, a journaling card, and another little book, all on a blue background that coordinates with the back of the album. And then we've got another little book here, and all of the books have got pages so that you can write and do some journaling to go with your album, or you could add photographs on all of the pages. And then there's one of the ephemera cards on the front here, and that slides into the pocket, as do these on that page. And then we finish off with another photograph, or place for a photograph for you to add. So you don't need to, if you use standard 6x4 photos, you can just slide them straight into your book. And then the spines, I've highlighted them with just a little bit of treasure gold, just to pick up the texture in the card. And the outside of the album is also edged in treasure gold as well. Just looks nice on the black. So that was White Fire Treasure Gold I used on mine. So that is the spring album. The summer album has got the really bright, it's got a lovely warm feel to it, that wreath on the front. And then the colours change slightly to go with the papers. So again, we've got the large photograph area at the front, little books in the pocket, nice paper piece border in there with the stamps across the top, a little photo mat and journaling card, and another little book with these beautiful colours from the paper. And then I've used embroidery thread just to tie my little books together with. That worked really well. And I've used one of my journaling masks just to put a hint of a line on the page here. So those fit in there. And then there's another one in the pocket. Of course, you could add more things into the pocket if you wanted to, or replace the books with something else. So this one, it sits that way. I've put the postcard sideways so that when it's in the pocket, you can see the wording on it. Patterns and solids again on the page base. And then flipping over, if we take these out, you can see part of that wreath again, taken from the summer paper, just cut out and laid just away from the photo mats so that you can slide your pictures in and out really easily. We've got the borders from the paper collection here and the stamps to coordinate with the really pretty flowers. And then I've used 2 of the cutouts to create extra photo mats, and they just go under there. And then we've got 1 each of the small journaling cards or ephemera cards, and they slide under there as well. And then flipping over, beautiful purples. I love this bouquet or floral spray with the hummingbird. I've gone for cream just to really set off the oranges. It's got a real warm feel to it, the summer papers. We've got some patterns and solids down the side with the script, an ephemera card on the front of the book, and again, just little pages to write or stick your photos in. And then the last little book in here and the ephemera card. And we've paper pieced the border in, some stamps on here, 1 of the cutouts, and then a border strip of the patterns and solids just to complement and tie the 2 pages together. And I've used treasure gold on the corners as well, just to highlight them. And then those fit in the pocket. And then the back of that book is the orange patterns and solids. So that's the summer one. And then the autumn. I think autumn's my favourite, but I am an autumn baby. But I love the pumpkins and the sunflowers. And the feathers, there's some feathers in here as well. And the little birdie. So that's the autumn one, and that one really does pop on that black. I've put the little dragonfly in the middle and kept the butterflies on there. But the ants and spiders were just too small to cut out. I just couldn't do it. So inside we start off with a nice orange page, and I love the ephemera card here with the sunflower on, a little border and some patterns and solids going across. And then I went green to try and pull the colours in with the paper. There's a lot of green in this cutout. And again, that's a little pocket. Oops. With the ephemera card, we've got the border strip and the stamps. And I've just gone with an orange ink. I can't think which one I used. Pumpkin seed? Orange distress ink. So they all slide in there. We've got the nice postcard book in, I want to go that way really, or that way, in the pocket. The pages, I think I've used peel paint on those. So that one just slides in like that. Flipping over, that one's gone curly. We've got 2 sections of the autumn wreath, just to complement the pictures. Sunflowers and pumpkins, and then the little birdie and the gourds. I loved those, so I put them in again. And then 2 pieces of the patterns and solids, just to sit there until you put your own photos in. And then 2 of the cutouts and an ephemera card for each photo. So again, you can add more into your album if you want to. And then flicking to the back of the book, green and orange again. Really love the autumnal feel of that ephemera card. And we've got the pocket with a lovely ephemera card on the front. And then just little pages. Again, I think I've used mustard seed ink for that one. That one sits in the pocket, and then there's another one in here, just covering up the little border and the stamps. So I love the way the whole thing pulls together, and the excitement of taking a flat pad of paper and creating something three-dimensional. I really love that. So that's the little book that goes in the back of the autumn album. And then, of course, we're into winter. Oh, the back. Just cream on the back of that one, with the brown border from the wreath paper and the stamps as well. And then let's bring the winter one in. Beautiful wreath on the front with the little sparrows, and I've just added a cutout on the bottom there. And then inside, very festive, with the reds and the blues and the Christmas roses and the red roses and the pine cones. So I've gone cream on this page with the patterns and solids, and a blue page to match it. So we've got coordinating patterns and solids on the pocket base and the border over there. Little ephemera card. It all coordinates together to give you a really lovely little page. And then flipping over, let's just take those out. I've got the back of the collective paper here, so whoops, the 8x8 paper. Lovely cutouts from the wreath with the sparrows and the roses, and then just two little cutouts on there mounted up on foam pads. Borders and stamps to coordinate as well. Let's pop the little sparrow back in there. And then flipping over to the last of the little books, I've gone orange, really coordinated with the last of the journaling cards. We've got a lovely postcard here with the orange on and the lily. The pages in this one, I think, are vintage photo. I've put one of the cutouts on the inside of the book as well. And then the little cutout also coordinates with the stamp on the ephemera card and the stamps from the paper. Little book with the floral paper on and the little cutout, and then an extra photo mat with the ephemera card on the back to journal. And that creates, or that's the end of, the album set. The back of that one is blue with the stamps and the border. So altogether, they make a really, really lovely album set. There is, as I said, a PDF tutorial and an online workshop that goes with the albums. The stand is sold as a separate kit, and it comes with an assembly guide. And the instructions for the albums, you can also have those with the instructions on what papers to cut to cover the stand as well. So, and of course, our black construction tape puts it all together. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the project, and don't forget to give me the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and then you'll be kept up to date with new projects as they come out.